listening to Conversations with the Citizen.
This is Conversations with the Citizen. I am your host, Tia Carol Jones. I am here today with Nykoa Farmer, founder, president, and CEO of In His Hands Resource Center.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Nykoa Farmer. I am the founder of In His Hands Resource Center, and today's my birthday. Yay! I turned 43, and it's a blessing to be able to still be here with a lot of people who have went before me. Mm-hmm. The only child is just me and my mom. She's down from the Delta, Mississippi, and so she had me at a late age. Okay. So I'm 43, my mom is 77. Okay. So we grew up old school. So I tend to cultivate to the seniors, and I'm learning the power of the pivots in the program we started to start pivoting to other things besides the seniors, and it's okay, Yeah. So I'm happy to have the willpower and tap into my passion of what I love to do.
Great. What is the In His Hands Resource Center, and why did you want to start it?
In His Hands Resource Center is like a one-stop shop for everyone, business, entrepreneur, community organizations, and I just find something new every day to do, pretty much. So it takes on its own mold. It was founded out of pain and grief. I had someone that passed away right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and then I'm like, I can't just lay in the bed and cry every day, right? So what do I do? And then I was offered the opportunity to start my own nonprofit. I've always been public relations. I go to Family Christian Center, St. Muncie's Church, and I was always volunteering, getting sponsorships for the church and this and that. Oh, I'm on my own nonprofit. I can't make money, because I'm just giving. But when you learn better, you do better. So I found the correct way of doing what I do, and it's been beneficial to me and my team and the community as a whole. I believe in true partnership. So when I went in and God said, do and don't receive. And I'm like, what are you saying that? And, so I learned at a young age, if I have these apples and you need an apple, I'm going to give you this apple, but I'm not going to charge you for the apples. And that's me. Other organizations, it's by law, you could do a fee app, but I don't. So I found my way giving without charging, and then it just came back. The universe just bring it back my way, and I believe in tithes and offering. So the Bible says you take care of God's people, He'll take care of you, and I am a living witness to that. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
How does In His Hands Resource Center work to benefit and uplift the community?
So during the pandemic, I'm like fish out of water. What to do, and everything that happened came from a negative situation, and so the Farmers to Family Box program started, and I had found out. I read and do research, and I found out. The research I called, the truck came, I'm thinking it's my truck, right? But it was for another organization. But how I handled that situation with grace, because it's about the community anyway, they took favor into me, and the lady said, hey, I got 5 more loads. Can I send it to you? I'm like, sure. It was just me now. And true partnership coming out, linked with another organization that had the manpower, linked with another organization that had the structure, and we fed over 100,000 families during the pandemic. And I found myself sourcing the trucks out to other organizations and other churches and other communities. You might not see In His Hands Resource Center on the box, but it came through our organization and they gave it to the community. So that's what a true partnership come in at, to maximize what you give to the community. So then I pray like, every box that go in someone's household, let it multiply, Lord bless it, and then things just start cultivating from that. Then I get a call out the blue. Hey, I want you to apply to be a community navigator for DCO, Governor Pritzker's office. What is that? I don't know. Okay, I'll follow directions. I applied. Oh, I just got to tell you how to push here, do this, do that. And I've been doing it for the past 3 years. That was my first grant and it was 6 figures. Just like that. And I've been making it ever since, thank God. And then other grants came about. And I sit on an Alzheimer's grant. I was on an IVAX grant. Right now we're doing a Build Healthy grant for the Southland. We feed 200 families every month, the third Wednesday and Thursday of every month. Top Box sends 200 boxes of food straight to a person's doorstep up until August through the Build Healthy program for the food insecurity. And then what do I do in the meantime? Like that in between time, so I became a Salvation Army Service Center volunteer, but they gave me access to their, their bank account and say, hey, this is how much, this is what you could do per family. And I've been pushing it out ever since. And then CETA came along. And then we became a remote intake site because I'm believing me and my mom used to stand in lines for 10 or 20 hours. And then, oh, you missed the paper. You got to start all over again. Or you go to a food pantry, you stand there for 10 hours, fill out 20 papers, get your blood type. Oh, you ain't in the neighborhood. But they give you a box of expired food. So I want to change that. Okay. So I live and breathe everything that I do. I've been there. Still there, quiet as kept, people homeless in their own homes right now. And so I do it with dignity and respect. So when you see the food lines, you seeing the Mercedes, you seeing everyone, the pandemic, look, I guess I've been in a pandemic all my life, right? Because I know how to survive. But the pandemic brought it to light. And every household, regardless of what your income bracket, was affected by the pandemic. So everyone found a humbleness in themselves to be able to get assistance and help. And I just brought the dignity and respect lead, and then other people will catch on. So.
You talked about some of the things that you've already accomplished. So what are some of the things that you're most proud of?
So I started in his hands to help funeral and burial. Okay. And it's like no one catched on during the pandemic. Like, hey, we need assistance. All these people dying. Grandma burying the kids and the grandkids and the great-grandkids who left. How do they supposed to support that? They on a fixed income. And it wasn't, working out. So I started doing these other programs, and I never took a salary, so I built this pot. Okay. And so with that pot, oh, okay, here go your 2 peace lilies. Let me call the funeral home. Let me call Salvation Army. Salvation Army allowed me to give a family a plot at no charge, and the only thing I have to pay for the opening and closing. If we have funds available, we assist them, or with the flowers, or we'll go through Catholic Charities, and Catholic Charities will pay so much. We make sure the funeral homes stay within the brackets, and I did that through the pandemic and still now. So even though I didn't get the pot of money, and they got the pot of money, I found myself still utilizing their money to be assistance to someone that is in need. I don't know how it started. Just someone called out the blue, could you help me? And when I helped that person, it went like wildflower. And I'm like, where's the great people like that? And then I said, okay, let me keep this going. My mom used to pick cotton. My mom stayed on the pleasure. She wasn't on slave, but in the Delta they stayed on. The town they stayed in used to be a plantation, 4/5. So she stayed on the plantation, but in the house, but it was on the plantation. There was no slave or nothing. Right. But in the seasons to survive, she used to pick cotton before going to school or after school or whatever. So I'm like, wow, with my mom, tend the land, and then when she passed away, got to pay to go back into the ground. Right. So I try to ease that situation so we do better and learn better. Okay. Yeah.
You were talking about a pivot, but how did you have to pivot during the pandemic? How did that with the organization?
So we was fresh out of water, right? So I started networking. I started going to rooms, listening, less talking, taking it in, and then listening to people. And it took a man, Sam Baylock from AT&T. He pulled me to the side. Yeah, I know you was referred, and you want to get some money for you, but if you serious about it, get you a website, get you a logo, get you GATA certified. Get you a DUNS number. See, one thing, I knew I got the 501c3 because they did the 501c3, but I didn't know the layers that came behind it. So I took that period while I'm pimping these food boxes out for no charge to the people, right? I took my time and got myself in order. Website set with GoDaddy, 1,000 hours. Did my own website. Then got it certified, and the man called. You don't know what you're doing. No, sir. Can you help me? It took strangers to help me get to where I'm at. So when it was time, my hands was open to receive all the blessings that God had for me. And then they was like, well, you need to do a workshop. Well, ain't nobody do a workshop for me. And I had to remember, hey, so now I do workshops. I partnered with Discover Card. They became our partners with us. How you treat people. And they said, you can use our facility free. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do the workshop. And then I brought in the experts and taught business how to become GATA certified, how to get your UEI number. You say, oh, you know how people say, I want to win the lottery and be a millionaire. How can you win if you don't play your number? So if you want granted, I got this business and this idea. How do you do it if you don't have a business bank account? How do you do it if you don't have an EIN number? So now I found myself as a community navigator or DCEO helping business entrepreneurs get themselves lined up, alignment of what's for them. And so I pivoted into that because remember I started with just the food boxes. Then someone told me when the second quarter came, oh, you know, they pay by mileage. I'm like, what's that? They said, well, I'm gonna give you 15 cents a box. 15 cents, but I got to thinking, it's 1,000 boxes on the truck. If I put out 20 trucks within a month and 1,000, it added up. No one ever told me that. I was just throwing the food out there. So when I was taught better, I did better. And then I solid foundation. And I lead by example. If that didn't work, I get back up and do it over again. Then I got connected with Amazon. I said, oh Lord, I ain't gonna never do Amazon. It was just so much work. But when I got done giving out to the community, I found myself back at it again. So it's like every day, new grace, new mercies every day. Every day is a brand new day to do something different. If I can make a change in one person's life, because someone did it for me and my mom. So it's like the universe giving back. And I'm passionate about it. So it's like the last job, honey, when they said, I'll let you go. I felt the monkey lift off my back. And I said, never again. You a minute early for punching back in. You a minute late for no, So now I set my own, I created what was best for me, conducive for me and my mom. And I'm blessed. I don't take this my time. I don't take what I do like this is my job. This is the first time I really sat down and did something like this to look back, to see how far I come and what I've done, because the only thing I know, I'm just surviving. But everybody looking like, oh my God, you did this and you did that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. But I'm just surviving for myself and the people around me and the people I don't know.
And you're doing an amazing job. So.
Thank you.
How can people help support the work that you're doing?
They can always donate. We have a website, www.ihhresources.com. They could go in and hit the donate button through PayPal. They can always mail in their donation. We are a 501c3. We're a GATA certified across the states, and we help all states and across the countries also. So they can go to the website and donate, or they can mail to our mailing address, which is Ennis Hands Resource Center, 1200 Ring Road, Suite 2374. And that's Calumet City, Illinois, 60409.
Okay. And before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like our audience to know?
Just know, hope is real, right? And tap into what you know and lean on it. And when you lean on what you know, everything will come in full circle. All I know is to keep moving, because I feel like if I stop, I'm in sinking sand, or if I turn back, I'm gonna turn to a pillar of salt. And we can't go back and change what the past or what happened. We only could live for this moment. Can't worry about tomorrow. Can't worry about yesterday. We just gotta live for that moment. And mental health is so important. Like, take time for yourself.
Yes.
Breathe. Because what's going to be is going to be, right? And as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself, right? Okay. And so it's like, breathe and take it all in.
Okay.
The only thing I could say that I believe I put it to the test, you know, that whatever your faith is, we still serve the same God. We probably have a different avenues or ways to get into it, but it's still the same God, and it never changed. Malachi 3 say, pay your tithes and your offering. If you ain't got nothing but $1, put that 10 cents in a pan. If you ain't a person to go to church, but you believe in God and you want to do something, give your time to something, to the neighbor next door, or someone down the street, or you see someone across the street need some help. And it's about goodwill and positive thinking. We all human, we all feel, we all hurt. But when you push past it and find peace in whatever your peace is, just stay true to yourself.
Okay. That's a good note to end on. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen, the place where real news